Hello and welcome. This is going to be my first official BandLab album review, and today we are starting off with a friend of mine, ToastyRecords, Dear T. This is his third album in his catalog here, and it almost seems like he's finally back into music after his last release, which was not promoted as much, not really as focused on in his music catalog. After his first album, it kind of just faded out a little bit, and now he's back, releasing a couple of singles, and now he's dropped his lo-fi album, Dear T, right here. Now, this is a monumental difference between all of his other projects and all of his other songs. This is miles ahead. This is huge progress. It's like Tyler the Creator going from Bastard, Cherry Bomb, all that to Flower Boy. And it's more focused, it's more stylistic, it's more emotional, it's more everything. Everything is better about this project compared to his other ones. His first project, Over Aqua, it was a bit of a mess. I guess he didn't really know the style to properly work with. Every single track was like a completely different thing, of just a whole bunch of instrumentals thrown together and tossed into an album. And then his next album after that, which was almost kind of forgotten, almost kind of like a side project, I guess. It was more like a space themed project, which was more focused, more of a one style, more of like a spacey feel, which you kind of get a little bit in this album. But yeah, again, it just feels like a whole bunch of instrumentals thrown together, not really mixed well. And then he goes on that hiatus, and he drops this. And holy crap, it is so much better. It is great. Let's start off with the track list. We got Dear T, Green, Half a Decade, You Seem So Distant, Cafe G, Driftin', Who Am I, Chromatic, Sincerely Me, and a bonus track, Spooked. 10 tracks. Now this is probably about 25 minutes about long. It's a shorty. It's nice though. Nice tracks. So we're going to start off with Dear T, the beginning, and this is a note obviously to himself, and it's a dramatic, cinematic, spacey, slow, nostalgic, sad kind of song. This is a great intro. Great. Perfect. This is the perfect intro to start this off. Great guitars, which is a theme throughout this album, especially with the chords. Chords are a massive part of this project. Again, nostalgic. This is the theme throughout every single song. It is nostalgic, and he pulled it off greatly. He pulled off the emotional feel of this album perfectly, which I did not expect because he's never done that before. But when you put your heart and soul into something, it sounds a lot better. Yeah, great opening track. It's about 3 minutes, and then the next track, which is my favorite, Green. Faster paced song, lo-fi hip hop, uplifting, banger track. It's chill, it's nice drums, chill guitars, nostalgic. It's great. This is some MF Doom, type stuff. This is nice, chill, lo-fi hip hop on this. It's my favorite. It's the second track. You need to do more songs like this. Next up, we have Half a Decade, which has a nice bass, which is also a theme throughout some of these songs. The bass is just great. It's perfect. And then we got some drowned out keys, which is also a theme throughout a lot of these songs. These mellow keys that progress really well in each track with some solid drums. It's nostalgic. And the ending to this track is a lot slower, a lot more mellow and dramatic. And it's a great ending to a track. and that transitions into You Seem So Distant, which was a big standout for me because it was almost like it's like a love song type of feel, like it's like I said, an attraction type song, which is weird because again he's never done that before, and he pulls it off perfectly. This is an uplifting, lovey type track, more pop like track. It's still lo-fi. It's like pop lo-fi. It's a faster pace. It's probably one of the faster songs on the album, not including the bonus track. But yeah, nice, fast-paced, mellow, grimy chords in there as well. And yeah, it's just a great poppy kind of song. It's pretty good. And then next up we have Cafe G, and this is like kind of more an electronic style, some that he used to dabble in a little bit back then, and it's electric, it's calming, and it sounds like something being played in a cafe. This is the longest song on the album by about 4 minutes. Great snare, great drums, great driving bass throughout the entire song. It's just a vibe. It's a nice little vibe to get you going for the day, to get you happy, get you up, get you working. But yeah, it's pretty chill. And then next up we have Driftin', and after Driftin', the track list kind of gets a little rough, couple rough patches, and I'll explain that. So with Driftin', great chord progression. It's one of the more simpler tracks on the album. It's a nice, nostalgic, spacey vibe type tone. More slower, lo-fi. Like I feel like I could sleep to this. Not saying that it's bad. It's just super calming, super slow. Again, super simple track. And then it goes into the next track, Who Am I? Which you would think had more innovation. You think it'd be slower. Think it'd be more emotional. But it's not. It's actually pretty much almost the same exact thing as Driftin', the track before. Just add a little more chord progressions in a faster pace. Just faster tempo. It's basically the same exact thing, about the same exact length. I prefer this over Driftin', but you just kind of wish that innovation was there. Because they sound pretty much the same. And then the next track, Chromatic. Again, he's tapping into more of that electronic style, and it kind of stands out a little bit in this track list here. It stands out a lot more because it's almost bordering like a different genre. It's still chill, still lo-fi. Great bass on this one. It's a vibey track. Again, something you hear in a cafe. This is a short one. Which makes sense because it stands out way more against all the other tracks in the album, but not too much. It still fits, but it's pretty close. And then we come up on the official last track of the album, Sincerely Me. This is the most emotional track to me on this project. It's at a great closer, great emotional slow closer. It's pretty similar to Dear T, but different enough that you can tell the difference. This is obviously him putting all of his emotion into an album and showing that this is the style that I know, this is the style that I'm good at, I'm gonna stay with this. But I mean, he can go out and do any style he wants. But yeah, this is him like being like, this is me, this is myself, I'm accepting myself. Basically what I'm getting from this track. And it moves great. The progression is the best on this album. It feels like a very hopeful, uplifting, nostalgic track. Something to get you motivated, I guess. Yeah, great closer. And then you have the bonus track, Spooked, which is like a hard hip hop type beat. I wish the drums were kicking a little more. I wish there was a little more to the drums. The melody's decent. I like the little notes in there, the do throughout the entire track, especially at the end. Great underlying deep bass into that as well. It kind of sounds like some, like out of an old horror movie almost. If you understand like the old piano type in old horror movies, it kind of sounds like that a little bit. But yeah, that is the track list. Obviously, he's putting more emotion into it. He's putting his soul into this album, and he's focusing more on a genre, and his production and his mixing, and it is great. It is really, really good, and I think you should stick to this more and continue music on forward. I am feeling a light to decent 7.
Tran